10 seconds remaining. Reserve time. 5 seconds remaining.
Sand King.
Liquids turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Liquids turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Liquids turn to pick. Dire team pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Dusk.
Liquids turn to pick.
Life Stealer.
Dire team pick.
Terror Blade.
Liquids turn to ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team ban. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time. Dire team pick.
Bristleback!
Liquid's turn to pick. Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Reserve time.
Ark Warden.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
Thank you very much, Red. And indeed, this draft, we saw the reaction from the panel there already here in day one of the Swiss format group stage. We're getting a lot of excitement. Thunderbirds finishing the Bristol that we assume is going to be mid. I mean, they could switch it around. And then the Arc Warden in response, Pat.
That's the second Arc Warden of the day, by the way. It's a decent hero. I think the Bristol is a really good pick, though. His opponents, there's a lot of armor heroes. It's like Arc Warden armor. Monkey King has really bad base armor. CM does with the backing of a Tusk behind him in case things get a little bit iffy, and Caudle as well. I feel like he can do a lot of good stuff this game. It'll be interesting to see how it works. But previous to this, the only team that really has been picking Bristol a lot has been Complexity, and they didn't end up making it here. So we'll see if this one's mid though.
Wow.
They were playing carry in the past,
Bristol.
so I think it could be really effective this game. I've been playing the hero, randoming the hero a little bit lately. It's quite good, especially when Liquid is really weak on disables. They've got silences and stun. Silences are pretty effective against the hero because he does need to stack up quills. But I think this is a good game for him. I think it could be really effective.
I mean, yeah, this mid lane matchup, one that I want to say I don't think we've ever seen before in Pro Dota. Arc Warden versus Bristleback. It feels like this is very new territory for us to be stepping into, Purge. But, I mean, how do you expect this 1v1 matchup to go between these very kind of unorthodox heroes to the mid lane?
Well, with a little bit of cover, I think Bristle can do really well, but I do think Monkey King will roam on him, obviously. Okay. And it's very dependent on how much mana he has, because once he gets a bottle, it'll be fine, because he's going to have more than enough mana, but to go for a kill, you kind of need to cast all of your mana pool in Quill Sprays, so that part will be important. How well can they deal with the Monkey King roam is going to be a big thing, I think.
Yeah, for sure. And of course, talking about the other cores as well, Thunderbirds getting that Terrorblade, as mentioned in the draft, that hero itself is going to be pretty strong against the Lifesteal as such. KuroKy does manage to get the nice little steal there at the bounty rune, so Liquid will secure themselves the 3.
That's huge for Monkey King, actually, because getting up to either a Stout Shield early or something like that, some kind of survivability, is a really big deal. So 100 gold puts him a little bit closer to trading better in the laning stage when he still has regen, so I really like that steal for him.
Looking at the side lanes, looks to be, well, as expected, we're going to see potentially a bit of aggression coming out from Thunderbirds, bringing the Keeper of the Light down here so Misery can back up Moon. Already, though, KuroKy with his eyes on Misery. Misery did spot him jumping between the two, and did try there to catch him off. KuroKy quick with a jump to the side. So running these dual lanes, Thunderbirds, and Liquid leaving Mind Control up on his own on the top lane. And in fact, he's been trapped in by the shards. They're trying to go for the kill here with the extra damage from the Metamorphosis, but it's not quite enough. Mind Control, able to walk it off. Pretty tanky, 660 HP, 6 armor straight out the bank. And with the poor man's, it's a hard kill for those two. Yeah,
they blocked a lot there. The wave is going to push now, so that'll guarantee him some experience. But in the offlane, it's not going as well for Thunderbirds. Keeping Moon Meander in the front is the safer way to do this, because Misery knows that he's the vulnerable of the 3.
Moon, the burrow and trying to get some Cosmic Finale procs to harass him back. And in fact, yeah, Misery has been trapped up by KuroKy and GH. That's going to be your first blood. KuroKy, brilliant start to the game. We saw him get the bounty, getting the first blood. This is huge for Monkey King.
Yeah, he's going to take some damage here, though. The creeps plus the Sanking, he might be able to get this kill.
Close, yeah. I mean, the Cosmic Finale, if he gets one more touch, he could have done it, but the open wounds is there to slow him back in return. Has got a man going to Burrow Strike, which he is going to need. In fact, Burrow Strikes in aggressively looking to try and get GH. Matuma Man look to chase down Moon. Hasn't quite got the movement speed to find him.
Nice.
KuroKy jumps back in on Misery, who did get the kill there with the Illuminate, but pays with his life as Liquid do find him in return and make sure that they keep this trade down bottom as a 2-for-1.
I think that's pretty valuable. A little bit of gold there for the Coddle. Level 2 as well is not bad. Zanking.
He's got another Burrow Strike.
Yeah,
again, I mean, the choice to Burrow Strike back in, is it not good for him to just Burrow Strike away and create distance in that situation?
Yeah, he's playing very aggressive right now. That one was definitely a mistake for sure. There's just a little bit too much disable, especially with the Orb of Venom. It's just very difficult to lane against this, and he got overconfident for sure. Back on the mid lane, looks like things are pretty even. Weehaw's got the same last hits as the Arc Warden. He's got his bottle finished up, so he's going to be able to push a lot better than Arc Warden can as well. So pretty consistently, I think Weehaw's going to have a decent time, and it should really lower the amount of time that he can even be ganked, because he just pushes the lane, grabs the rune, and should be fine there. So I think the mid lane might even be just a little boring. Come down more to how the support rotations go now that the Sen King goes to the jungle. See what those guys do. The Monkey King, the Crystal Maiden. Maybe they'll get active, maybe not.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, with the start of the MK God as well, it's scary. I mean, KuroKy 3 minutes in and just a blades away from a phase boost. That's pretty quick for this Monkey.
Yeah, that's a huge grab, actually. Especially if you can find heroes without boots, and he's got phase boots already. I guess Coddle's already really fast, but maybe a gank here on Weehaw, but no creeps. There's no way they can dive towers.
No point in the passive yet for KuroKy. Get the second point in the boundless for that play down bottom. Weehaw taking a lot of harassment here from Arc Warden, just laying down those wraiths. So keeping him zoned out of the lane so that we may start to be able to get a bit of a lead in this 1v1.
They also did see that Moon Meander was here by the shrine, so now they can maybe make some assumptions of gank patterns on that. So I just don't really see Thunderbirds getting a lot of kills right now. It's pretty much down to what roam that Tusk might do, but it's just better for him to prioritize levels right now, because if he doesn't gank somewhere with like Sand King or the Coddle, there's almost no way they get a kill, because their lanes, their cores are just not super gank heavy. It's like Bristle and Terrorblade might as well be the same hero. It's just right click heroes. They do a lot of physical damage, but they don't have good disables, so The lanes should just be passive for Thunderbirds, so not feeding is definitely their big goal here.
Mind control, coming in with a good bit of harassment under the cover of night. Attacks it. Plays it safe, rolls himself away. I mean, Mind Control, during this first night, can he himself get much done in terms of rotating to overlays?
Yeah, that's definitely the goal. I mean, he can be somewhere with Monkey King and do something good. Again, coming in mid.
Yeah, trying for the TP out. Is not going to make it with Kuro being there as well. Very cool. Getting himself a nice bit of a cash bonus.
It was a good try on the TP. A lot of Monkey Kings. Some of them don't grab Boundless Strike at level 2, but Kuro doing the safe, smart thing, grabbing Boundless Strike for the stun. So that's the kill that they've been looking for. But I mean, it's only Misery's. Oh, it's actually his third death. I don't remember a second one, but yeah, he's really the guy that just can't die. But it's very difficult for him to actually play in the offlane here. Normally he sits on trees, blasts the wave out. His opponents won't see him coming, but against the Monkey King, he can't do this as safely. Like even right now,
GH is hunting for him, and Misery has been caught out again. This will almost certainly be the fourth death here from the Keeper of the Light. Mass TP's coming through with the Boundless. They'll find him once again. Saxa and Moon. See if we get anything in response. Ice shards are out. Kuroki still in the safety of the trees. He hides up top. Moon trying to find him there. Cuts through one. Going to get him initially. They're hunting. If they can get him. GH very deep as he himself as well hides in the tree line. Will be successful by the looks of it with the TP out. Kuroki still has to be very careful how he jumps about here.
Yeah, that was really smart how he did it. He saw Tusk cut the tree, or Moon Meander cut the tree, but he actually didn't jump. Because because a typical Monkey King player would just jump instantly when they see one. Yeah. But that actually reveals you a lot of cases, and it makes the tree move. So if he just stood still, then it was just Moon Meander moving on to the next spot. So Mind Control at this point has really not done that much in his lane, but he has gone level 5, which is pretty solid here. Maybe kill Resolution, but go under tower.
That's a lot of armor on Reza.
So the nice thing that Mind Control is doing is that he's just being a nuisance in lane, basically. Is that Rezo can't do everything that he wants to maximize his farm. He's
still getting decent farm, though. I mean, he's still on par with the Lifestealer.
I feel like it could be higher due to having illusions and things like that. Lifestealer's also been in some kills, so Lifestealer's definitely getting more right now. So I think Thunderbirds is in a bit of a vulnerable position right now. They're going to need to take some fights with things like Bristleback for this game to kind of come online, because they really don't have very much tempo to set. And the heroes that they do have to set some tempo and to get efficient plays is basically like Coddle, and he's just super countered in the offlane by the Monkey King. So they kind of put themselves into a bad spot with their opener, in my opinion. Or maybe it was just because their mid didn't make up that ground. So we'll see if it comes together better. I mean, remember last game, Liquid had a relatively rough laning stage, but once they started team fighting, it got really strong.
And it'll be interesting how they plan to bring it together with running this mid lane Bristle. It's not a hero that's going to be able to jump and surprise you, but it's a hero that's going to be very strong to add to a push. Having him on the front line with his defensive capabilities once he has the Vanguard complete, and then just being backed up by Rezo on the Terrorblade, you've got the components for that very strong and hard to stop mid game push.
Yeah, that's really where it comes down to. Or maybe a fight where the Liquid overextends and he's able to TP in right on top of them. That'd be really effective as well. So, but for now, they're gonna maybe try to pressure Resolution. They spot Misery at least. That's the guy they want to go on. Yeah, I think he's dead right now.
Yeah, again, the easy kill for Liquid. And the Keeper of the Light, nice Boundless as well to catch the TB off on the back of it. There will be a snowball as Thunderbirds trying to find something in return, looking towards GH. They'll get it. 1-for-1 trade will occur.
Actually, like the Tusk pick against Monkey King could really work. I'm not sure if you snowball a Monkey King, does it destroy the trees before he gets stunned? I'm not quite sure, because it might do a good stun. At the least, though, the Frozen Sigil can be used to scout, which is really nice.
You're going to catch him, yeah. A lot of potential.
So at least they do get a response kill, though. That kind of stuff is really needed right now, especially if Misery's in the experience area. He's got to catch up in levels here.
And if they can transition it into a tier 1 push, that would be great. But there's a lot of heroes from Liquid coming up for the defense. Thunderbirds, they are going to try and move forward. Boundless Strike onto Saxa. Gets the snowball off, in fact. The Void still on cooldown from Mind Control. Look for the chase down. Saxa trying to juke this one out, but Kuroki up in the trees, giving that essential vision to allow Liquid to have that clean fight. Managed to find the Tusk. GH suffering a bit with the creeps here, but Kuroki will be there to get them off.
So this isn't going super well, but on the bright side, Weehaw's going to have a little bit of time to farm Ancients. He's going to have a 3-stack here and an Arcane Rune, so I don't know. It's not going the best for Thunderbirds, but definitely not out of the realm of winning yet. Although I would say Bristle's farm is actually quite low compared to what Miracle's got, but That's Arc Warden. Double Midas. It's pretty good stuff. And in some ways, Arc Warden may be one of the heroes that did get buffed with the Midas change, because it gives more gold but less experience. So that's maybe something that his hero can really benefit from.
The Timberman, with the help of Kuroki again, getting some action on the safe lane as Mumiander's caught out. I mean, Kuroki just making all the rotations, perfect rotation. 305 involved in all 8 kills before the 10-minute mark. This is textbook Monkey King play.
Yeah, he's playing amazing, actually. He's using all his skills perfectly, too. Very difficult to make sure that you make everything happen perfectly on that hero, usually. You're going to try to kill the Mimic thing.
Yeah, let's see, as the backup from GH is
or
there,
just the hero.
trying to save Miracle, and it won't be good enough. Thunderbirds managing to take him down. In response, though, Timberman already charging forward. Moon, again, with these very aggressive bow strikes. Bow strike down to the low ground. Won't be punished for it, though, so Liquid do back off. But, crucial kill to get. We saw a good Midas timing. We know that Arc Warden's farm can get out of hand. And this is great for Thunderbirds as well. Space is given up top with the pressure that was put on mid in that kill. Resolution has the space to get some damage done to this tier 1.
Yeah, that's very good movements for them. Arc Warden just didn't seem like the best pick in some ways. Like I get that the hero has some value, but against a hero like Bristle, he has very bad control. Like, yeah, he can pick up a Shadow Blade and all, but if you're just walking next to an ally, his flux skill doesn't work, and Bristle's just going to chase him down, and this might just happen here again, too.
Oh, if they kill him again in quick succession, that's going to be brilliant for Thunderbird. Straight in onto Miracle with the Nasal Goo. The War's punch slow as well. He'll try and get himself to the field, but that's not going to save you against the magic damage, the Quill sprays as well, as they rip through him and the illusion.
Yeah, like, Bristle just literally runs at him, and he can't do anything. He
doesn't care about that field at all.
Yeah, like, it's going to be a while until Arc Warden feels survivable here. He needs, like, a Force Staff or a Shadow Blade or something, but he's always going to buy Midas first, and then you've got to wait for the Shadow Blade. I don't think those heroes match up very well. But I'm not surprised that Miracle does not have a lot of experience. Maybe Liquid didn't anticipate the Bristle mid or something, or they thought it would be okay, but that matchup does not work so hot. At least not until later. So that's the one lane that's not going so well for Liquid. It's definitely the Arc Warden now. Those 2 deaths in a row were big. The first one as well, his Midas is off cooldown, so definitely costing him a lot of gold. Yeah.
Bottom lane, Moon trying to finish this tower off, but the Timberman is set to start to force him back. Kuroki again ready to be in position, but doesn't get the stun off in time. Yeah, Moon with the immediate burrow strike into the Illuminate. There'll be Thunderbirds getting the first kill, and now Matumba with the rage still on cooldown, could be in trouble. Immediate infest to get that burst heal, but the chase down will be there with the slows, the stuns. Thunderbirds get a second. They'll get the tower. Again, Thunderbirds, after suffering early on from these Monkey King rotations, now reacting really nicely and getting Weehar active across the map.
Yeah, this is how they make the hero work really well. Just a simple rotation you walk over, but the big difference between Bristle and a typical mid hero is that he's insanely hard to kill. He basically just constantly slows you, and especially with the Coddle using Chakra Magic, it's a guaranteed super valuable use of that skill. So it makes Chakra Magic normally used just for mana. All of a sudden his Quill Sprays just stack insanely fast, and he can just win a whole team fight by himself in that way. Like, it's not like he goes all in casting Laguna Blade on one hero. He gets in that fight and he casts Quills until everybody dies and hits everybody.
Interesting decision as well. I mean, a lot of the time it feels like on strength heroes with these mana regen talents, it's kind of laughed off, and normally the other is better. But it's totally understandable why we takes that in this situation over the strength.
Yeah,
because of the aggression.
Almost always Bristle, at least when I play the hero, I almost always get the mana talent. The only time I don't is if I have a CM on my team, I think. And a Coddle, you might argue maybe it's worth it, but you know, Coddle can't be everywhere. And the more you cast Quills, the more heroes die. That's the straightforward way to play Bristle here.
You're not wrong there, Patch. Resolution. Dragon Lance complete, ready to work his way towards the Manta. And this is a man that he's not really being prioritized in terms of Liquid's movements, have they? He's been given a bit of space now in the top lane.
He was certainly pressured in the laning stage by all means, but the last couple minutes of rotations from Thunderbirds have been way too strong. Like, he could dive Miracle right now, maybe. Like, they had to TP right there because there was a real chance that Weehar dives.
Yeah, for sure. With this DD, Weehar is ready to get aggressive. GH will lock him in under the tower. Kuroki's there from the high ground with a beautiful Wukong's command. Can they kill him though? Yes. With Resolution Metamorphosis, they'll find it. They'll get Kuroki down, and they'll try and move in for more. Moon with the 2-man burrow strike onto GH and Mind Control. They'll pick a second. They should get the third as Mind Control surrounded in the tree line. They'll find that surely he's tanky. He's big. He's strong. Not quite strong enough as he finally goes down, and as a bonus, Rezo and Saxa were able to chase down Miracle, getting 4 kills in the mid lane. Thunderbirds, again, they have just stepped up their team fight massively from what we saw in Game 1. The execute, it just seems a lot tighter.
I think the big difference is that Liquid's lineup is not very good at stopping Thunderbirds from running straight at them, and that's the big advantage they're getting. They're going to take Roche super fast as well with the Goose stacks here, and Resolution on the end of his Metamorphosis. But Kuro's going to be able to go in maybe.
Steal?
Yeah,
Can they go for some sort of big play? Yeah, the Thunderbirds are respecting this.
They have to. They made too big of a mistake going in like this.
Okay, thinking about going in, but the Burrow Strike again. Moon with these plays, catching out the Monkey before he can do anything. He's almost certainly going to pop. He does get the Boundless Strike off in time, and they did kill Misery. But with Weehan Resolution wrapping back in from the bottom, they'll take a kill in return. Jump forward from Moon as he finds GH. Matumba trying to play around with Moon, but he can't with the Sandstorm and the Burrow Strike. He's fine. Miracle's still there, laying down a lot of wraiths around this pit. Weeha has to be careful. Mind Control in with a Crippling Fear. Void onto Sakta, bursting him down low. Miracle continuing to try and zone them back with the Wraith spam. There's the Snowball from Sakta, who very nicely tries to get himself up to the higher ground, going towards the Ancients, but for some reason it doesn't quite close the gap. Moves back in though with the Epicenter onto 2. Matumba Man Rage still on cooldown for 5 seconds. Resolution and Misery looking for the chase down. Matumba trying for the TP out. He's not going to make it though, as Thunderbirds will take down the Lifestealer and move themselves back into the Roshan pit.
And now Roche is going to have no armor from the Solar Crest. They finished Roche. I can't believe they're able to take that fight. I mean, Liquid did the right thing. They needed to pressure there and actually stop Thunderbirds, especially because they were so low, but that's the power of Bristle, man. He's just always regenning HP, and he can play around the fight. And one of the big things I saw in the Liquid draft when the Bristle was picked is that they don't have a lot of disable. Like, they've got all these like weak disables. They've got Flux for slow. They've got Void for slow. They've got Frostbite. But in all of those skills, you can turn. The only thing that they can't, that can prevent turning is Boundless Strike and maybe a Basher. So basically, every time they go in the Bristle, he can always turn around and stop 40% of all damage flying at him, which is a huge advantage to have when you're already tanky. And at this point, he basically can't die. Liquid needs all of their heroes to actually focus on him or to chain stun him when he's looking the wrong way.
And also, I don't know how much of an effect it's going to have, but they fluffed up the fortification there, popping it after the tier 1 went down.
Did it come back up? There's they fixed that. Or they had changed, remember? It's like if you,
there's a little
if you mess it up, yeah, it refreshes. It uses it, but it refreshes
Icebox got you back, Liquid.
Yeah, that's to help all those high ping players, right? Or the bad ones or something.
Here we go. Thunderbirds smoking up, but it was under the ward, so Liquid
doesn't matter.
Unlikely to be caught out.
I just feel like no matter what, as long as Weeha's in the front, they're going to be... It'll definitely waste the smoke, most likely. I'm sure they'll prep for this. Miracle, oh, this could be really bad, actually. They don't have vision.
He's gone. Surely he can't get his way out of this one. With 3 heroes surrounding him, he's dead.
That was a huge mistake. Like, they definitely saw the smoke.
They definitely.
Just Thunderbirds took it the right place. I just really don't think that Miracle was expecting it to be over there. And by the time the smoke broke... But that's the problem with Dark Ward. He can't get away fast. He's pretty much committed. Like, if smoke breaks... And Moon reacts like that. Oh, smoke broke. I'm going to blink the high ground. Let's see if I can get somebody. So they needed somebody who was more defensive on the mid lane, I think. And maybe they were thinking Ember, like Ben was talking about in the draft, but he's more survivable at least. Like, they definitely have equally bad time in lane, most likely. Maybe worse on Ember, but Arc Warden just feels so bad right now. It just doesn't feel useful. He's just dying repeatedly. He can control the area, space very well, but he doesn't feel like he's contributing anything to this game.
I mean, he's got the Maelstrom done now and picked up the recipe trying to go for that Mione, but Weeha is obviously eyeing up a BKB. And once this man has a Vanguard and a BKB, the damage just isn't there from Liquid to do anything about Weeha. They have to ignore him, but at the same time, because it's this mid, caught Bristle back in a great position, and he's going to have a lot of damage to offer. The team fight kicks off. Misery with the Blinding Light knocks them back. Mind Control on the front lines taken down. Now the chase down from Liquid as they'll look to try and get a bit more potentially from Thunderbirds. Miracle with the Tempest double, trying to zone back Weeha, but who was seeing this, the Flux just pretty useless against this 5-man that T-Birds are now pulling together. It's a spell that's just made entirely redundant.
Yep. If you're standing next to somebody, it doesn't do anything. It actually does nothing. So this is one of the big problems with Arc Warden. If you get behind and you're trying to team fight against opponents, a lot of times that skill does nothing. And then you're like, well, I hope I have a stupid amount of items, because otherwise it's just a magnetic field caster. I mean, that's about all you do.
It feels like with this build against this play, you can't really turn up to fight against the 5-man. The only way you can play it is kind of farm up and split push, surely, because
that's one of the
effect
things
that you have in these fights is so low.
And if your opponents have better gank pressure than you as well, then you're just not really accomplishing that much. They are going to go for the CM kill. They even scanned for that one. Thunderbirds were expecting somebody, like they were hoping for a Monkey King kill, but found CM instead. Ooh, can they get the follow-up?
Miracle.
Like, what does he do here?
He tells Kuro to pick another hero.
He got another Ice Shards, too, because of the Coddle. That was cool. He can cast that twice. That's a 14-second block with Ice Shards. That's insane, actually.
18 to 11. Thunderbirds, at the moment, doing their best to bring this series to a 1-1, which, of course, wouldn't mind. We get to see another game between these two teams, and both so far have been incredibly entertaining. T-Birds, thinking about the high ground break, Weehart goes for the turnaround AFK strat. It's pretty strong with the Bristle. Moon jumps in with the Burrow onto Matumba, forcing him back. A major boundless strike onto 2. Saxa falling very low. The Birds will have to back up and themselves back together before getting back in on this, as Liquid are full up and ready to hold. Indeed, Thunderbirds respect that, and they'll leave for now and look to high ground push another day.
That was a great CM ulti, but nice blinding light there to push the CM away. But that's really their best damage right now, I think. Yep. It's basically Crystal Maiden Freezing Field.
I mean, how's Matumba doing at the moment on this live
I'm sure he's got good. Yeah, he's got Midas, he's got an Armlet, he's almost got his Deso, just a 600 gold away. He can kill heroes really fast, but he's got to get on top of them. And the way he did it in the last fight was Night Stalker ran in, basically. So it's a good way, but it doesn't get you there instantly, and your opponents aren't necessarily disabled when you jump in.
So they'll get themselves a bit of a freebie here, Liquid. Quick rotation onto Saxa to bring him down. And, I mean, kills like that, it is pushing Mind Control very close to having his Aghanim Scepter. Yeah,
that's going to change the game a lot, because it's gonna hit the timing when Thunderbirds picks up their Ags on Misery on the Coddle as well.
Yeah.
It's about 500 gold away, so once he picks up that, and they can just spam Darkness all the time, then it's just going to really limit any vision advantage that Thunderbirds was supposed to have. So when you have these lineups like Bristles and Terrorblades just hitting buildings, vision is huge for pushing, because it does let you swing around, maybe catch the one hero that's by themselves. You can always know when your opponents actually have all 5 heroes there. So yeah, the Night Stalker is going to be a huge thing in this part of the game. But even still, I don't know if I have faith in Liquid's cores this game. I don't know if the Arc Warden is going to be strong enough. Will there be a point in the game when he actually is able to take the fight to Bristle? I'm not sure.
Maybe if we see kind of the game kind of continue to stay at this pace and not rocket too far down for Liquid, we could definitely see a similar situation to Game 1 where Kuro's able to get his items, and the Wukong's command becomes a massive part in holding these high ground defenses.
Yeah, that's true. That definitely could matter. And he does have the Midas, so you know, he's on his way, I'm sure. The levels will help as well, and he can always just split push out bottom. But will it be in time before the Aegis comes out?
And he's found Miracle, but the Burrow Strike's already been blown. So Miracle will be able to get himself out. Very close to being caught though.
So he's doing his best split pushing, but I don't know. I just like right in the meantime they defended that, and Weeha's still hitting a building. That's how confident he feels right now. Feels like he can be anywhere. Oh, the big save from Saxa. That was so sick.
Matumba Man's just wrapped around from the back lines and immediately looking into Misery again. Good Wukong's command into the 3-man boundless strike. They'll take down Wound. They'll get the Saxa as well. Weeha forced to put the BKB as he's trying to run himself away. Liquid, they can't deal with that BKB Bristle. They'll have to leave him.
That's okay. They got 2 kills.
2 kills.
Saxa did a great job trying to save Misery there. Blocks them in with the Ice Shards. The Lifesteal has to walk around, but Matumba making a perfect choice. He saved Rage there. Unlucky for Liquid. No Roche up just yet, but maybe they can grab Weehaw here. His HP's still a little low. They've got the Ags on Night Stalker as well, so they know where everybody is. The target is Moon Meander, if anything. Prevent those epicenters.
Let's just see if they can get some sort of a wraparound here at the moment. Resolution already backing his way out of the jungle. In himself safe on TB. But definitely a thing to account for is what it feels like. In terms of the cores, you say you doubt kind of Liquid's potential, but surely the same for Thunderbirds. I mean, the Bristleback, eventually there's going to be a point where his damage output is very much limited. He's not building any right-click items other than the Solar Crest.
It doesn't matter. This hero actually...
Yeah. You think the Coil Spray stacks are just always...
His ulti is real strong. Every spell you cast, you get 30 damage. Who needs items, man? Like, you could even go the build that Moo was doing consistently was like Blink, Echo Saber, Vanguard with Ags. That way, he could just cast Goo even if nobody was around. And then he would blink in, and he'd have like 8 charges of his ulti, and he'd like 2-shot somebody. It's actually, there's a lot of interesting ways that you can build Bristle, and you just need a mix of some stats but also survivability. And he did definitely need things like Solar Crest, Black King Bar, but I think from here on out he may go, maybe if he goes Lotus Orb, I don't know. I'm not sold on that build this game. Oh, free Courier, that was a gimme.
Same time, Liquid were able to find Misery in the jungle, but for sure, Thunderbirds in the favorable trade. They'll put the pressure onto the tier 2, force out the fortification. Now, this time the float's coming into play. I'm going to see Weehaw say, come and stand next to me, boys. They're taking a bit of damage here, and it looks like they're keeping themselves away from it. Moon will try and come in with the Burrow Strike, but with the silence onto Saxa. Saxa, he's out and down. Boundless Strike onto Weehaw. He'll put the BKB, try and get himself out. Matuma Man has to back away, though. The Quill Spray stacks, building up. Mind Control will get taken down. Again, we're seeing at the moment when that BKB is popped, very little that Liquid can do to bring him down, and Thunderbirds turning back in for more. Godlike now for Weehaw as he picks up the double, and with Resolution turning up, they're ready to power down the mid lane, take a tier 2, maybe even more.
Hits for 300 damage right now, and that's just from casting spells. So strong. And he's level 19, of course. That part helps a little. Continues to buy utility items, though, and Resolution on the backline is going to probably be able to do the damage his team needs. Maybe kill these, whatever, Tempest double thingies.
See, of course, with the field, Miracle making it very hard to hit the tower. And Weehaw will be baited in close, but Tummerman trying to go in onto it.
It's daytime, though. They got heals now. This is the big thing that T-Birds are waiting for, and this almost guarantees a Rax in some ways. Although losing the Resolution's ulti, the Metamorphosis,
yeah,
that's going to be a big deal.
That's a lot of damage gone. Yeah.
And not necessarily the damage, it's more about the range ability, because if they can just sit low ground and keep hitting the building and continue to get these like 500 HP heals from Illuminate, that's where the value is. But unfortunately for them, that fight was forced, and it wasn't like a tower siege. So I think what the smart thing that Liquid could do is try to force fights that's going to get Resolution to use his Metamorphosis, and prevent him from just using that to siege. Because if it's daytime and they've got Metamorphosis, it's going to be pretty straightforward for Thunderbirds to eventually take a tower. But running out of that there absolutely shut down their push.
Roshan is back up. Something that Thunderbirds for sure will want to look for, but at the same time, we know that Liquid can do a lot to hold on to it. We're seeing just the power of the Monkey King around the Roche pit. Big plays potentially from Kuroki to come through. If it does kick off around there, he's very close to having that Basher complete.
That's going to be huge.
Yeah, that with the ultimate, we saw it last game, just how disruptive it can be around these confined positions.
With that said, though, if they know where he is in the fight, I think Terrablade's going to be able to deal with it really well. Super ranged hero, he picks up a Dragon Lance, so he's going to be able to kill the Monkey King.
Speed
as does Bristle. Like, Bristle can just run at somebody. Like, Monkey King can't really stop Bristle. Well, I mean, he could just ulti, I guess. That would do it, but with a Basher. But it's difficult for them to stop Thunderbird's heroes from running at them, because they're all fairly tanky, and they've got good heroes backing them up with the Caudal and the Tusk and the Sand King. The Scotty coming up soon, though, for Terrorblade. That could be really huge against heroes like Lifestealer. Just get permanently slowed. And he went a little bit more of a greedy build, Midas into Desolator, so he's a little bit more damage heavy than typical Lifestealer, so he actually might die really rapidly in some of these fights. And pretty consistently, teams that pick Lifestealer almost always ban Terrorblade, so that should kind of tell you what kind of a place this is looking late game.
Thunderbirds, 26-16 in here, just looking at those two cores net worth. A clear 2,000 in respective between the mid laners and the safe laners of both sides. Tier 2 going down. Thunderbirds.
They got 30 seconds till nighttime.
Looking incredibly strong in this game too. How do they stop this siege? Give their best efforts, trying to make it go on to Weehaw. Immediately with the Lotus Sword, trying to remove some of these debuffs. He's brought down to half health.
Doing good damage. They got a shrine at least. Oh, Kuro on the backline gets caught. That's a huge grab for them.
Oh, and he doesn't have buyback as well, so yeah, no Wukong's command for this defense for 40 seconds.
Man, that's so tough for them, actually, because they were like 15, 20 seconds till nighttime. I think he might have forgotten about the Caudal eggs. Or Misery was hunting him the whole time, also a possibility. But grabbing Kuro is massive. 30 seconds without that? At least the creeps are a bit cut. That helps them.
Mind Control? See if we could get a grab onto this Axa, but quick with the blink.
Yeah. Guess they're going to give up on that one. Somebody must have pushed out mid, or just happened to be pushed. I'm not sure, but
I guess maybe Miracle had one of the Tempests out there.
Yeah, this is. I was wondering about this. Where's the gem for Thunderbirds? They picked it up just now, and now this should give them a lot of map control. They weren't able to kill a tier 3 there, unfortunately, so no shrine kills, but they've got to offset what the Night Stalker is doing basically.
Weehaw, feeling very confident. I mean, he is on his own, but definitely has the capability to do so. Now, I do like his decision as well. You kind of touched upon it earlier in some other builds the players do on the Bristol. Getting the Aghanims, having that, being able to, as you say, max out the stacks, and just providing that slow and armor reduction to really allow the Terror Blade to hit home on these heroes.
Yeah, not to mention every time he casts it, somebody's armor is going to be lowered by 2.2, and that could hit Night Stalker. That guy's not going to be magic immune. You know, using it against Lifestealer will be a bit unpredictable. You don't always know when you'll be able to cast it, but the damage jam, the AoE slow, all that stuff's going to be really worthwhile. What I'm really curious about is what he gets at level 25. Is that the 30 health regen or the 25 cool stack? I think you go for the cool stack here.
I think you go for the cool stack.
It got buffed by 25%.
Yeah.
And there's a coddle, so he's going to cast more quills than average.
Yeah.
You do insane damage with this.
No,
you go from 36 quill stack damage to like whatever that is. Is that like 61 or something? Yeah, 61
that's right,
per quill stack.
Perfect.
So that's going to add up real fast. We're talking like 400 AoE physical every 2.5 seconds or whatever the heck it is, 3 seconds.
Yeah, it just really feels like he just does not need that regen. He's able to frontline him with these items, with Vanguard, Lotus, and Solar Crest BKB. Who needs regen?
And the disable threats that his opponents have, he can always turn, almost always. So we'll see what he does though. He may not end up committing, but there's a lot of mediocre armor heroes on the enemy team. That's basically everybody but Lifestealer right now.
Simba trying to do his best to hold off the push. As we are very, very confident in the front lining. The mass TP's coming back in from Liquid. We'll look to do their best to hold. Be going in on the Bristle at the same time. A bit of a split push coming out from Resolution's Illusions on the top lane as they work down that tier 3. Once again, in on the front, we falling low, but the bait potential as Moon comes in with a burrow strike, but in response, Kuroki looking to get the tree down, the Wukong's command out, won't quite reach Weeha on the side of it, but they get the 2 on the front. Moon and Saxa punished for their over-aggression.
Ooh, they lost the gem as well, I think. Must have been on Tusk, perhaps? Or Sand-King? No, it was on Sand-King, definitely.
Yeah.
That's a big loss, and this is basically the Night Stalker counter, is what it feels like there. He didn't actually even need to use his ulti there, but I guarantee that if Night Stalker wasn't in this game, Thunderbirds would just wait till daytime, then they would do that.
Oh, and a freebie
big
for
kill.
Tumba, yeah, just a solo kill on Misery. We'll knock him out for 45 and no buyback. And there's that pickup that the panel talked about, having someone with the Silver Edge. Now they're on Miracle. Yep. So now there's that extra chance to bring down Weeha.
2 chances. Both him and his Tempest Doubler are going to have it. Which means they can use Silver Edge for, what, 10 seconds in a row if they want. And now the game's just so weird because Thunderbirds should be just closing out Arax easily because they have a big advantage, but the nighttime thing is causing so many issues. They don't have this like overwhelming heal to keep the Bristleback healed up. Like his items are covering some of those problems, but they want to be getting these 500 HP heals every like 5 seconds. That's when they can just end the game and get a Rax or 2. But they're just not getting that opportunity because of the Night Stalker counter pick. And Thunderbirds are forced into doing these like high ground pushes or attempts at them at times where they're not going to necessarily be full power because they feel like they have this timer. Resolution maybe gonna get caught here.
Does need to be a little careful. Liquid, 3 members in the neighborhood. Thunderbirds, TP reaction are holding on. Mid lane, Weeha, a bit aggressive, but has the haste. Again, feeling safe. But as we're seeing, you know, in a game where Thunderbirds were taking the vast majority of team fights and really keeping the pressure onto Liquid, Liquid's still able to turn it around if mistakes are made by Thunderbirds on these high ground sieges. Yeah,
absolutely can go both ways. And as time goes on, there's literally 5 Midases on Liquid, so...
Damn, the 5 Midas strat.
That looks pretty good.
Yeah.
For the late game implications there. Just everybody's got a golden hand. So everybody's going to have a lot of gold on the Radiant side, which could mean a super late game victory here. I think Liquid's goal is, Turtle, don't let them take a Rax. And here's an opportunity. It's daytime. Night Stalker, no ult. They've got 3 minutes.
Tried to go in onto Saxa, but Saxa quick with the snowball to hold himself back.
This is the best window that Thunderbirds has had all game. 3 minutes here. Well, it's actually 50 seconds until Night Stalker uses ult, but they've got a good 2 minutes of total window time here. They need to take a Rax, or at the least this tier 3.
Fortifications out. Miracle getting ready with the silver hedge hit. We'll get it onto the Bristleback. Mind control being focused here by Rezo and Weeha on the sidelines. Moon has managed to find the stun onto Kuroki, so making it very hard for Kuro to get off that Wukong's command. He does find it, gets the bashes out. He survives. Kuroki finally goes down, but that Wukong's command there, buying the time, hitting the bashes to allow them to get the triple kill for Miracle. I can't believe he got that off, and it did so much in that short second that he had it. The bashes were instant.
That was all about this medallion purchase on Monkey King, in my opinion. The difference of 7 armor there It meant that Terrorblade doesn't just like 2-3 shot him, but they're going to be able to get the Night Stalker and a gem possibly if they can grab it in time.
GH and Maman eyeing it up with the shards, keeping them away from him. Maman, look at the damage to bring down Weehaw. Well, with the freezing field, it's going to be close, but Weehaw still able to run it off. Matumba has to be careful of how heavy he goes in. He does have Miracle moving across as well to help. Saxa with the blink away will survive.
Okay, grabbing the gem definitely helps a lot. It's really tough for Thunderbirds though that they died there. That was the window. They did get the tier 3 at least, so they will be able to kill the enemy shrines, but I'm sure they were wishing they got a Rax. And yeah, the Monkey King staying alive just long enough to get quadruple bashes off or whatever the hell crap happened there. That made the big difference.
Yeah, so it's looking scarier and scarier for Thunderbird, considering that they had this lead and they haven't been able to take ground. 35 minutes in. Bottom lane, the Tempest double. Might even be taken down, actually. Miracle will keep it alive long enough for its timeout.
Very wise to not feed those. They give a lot of gold right now, and experience.
And you talked about the medallion. It's now a full-fledged solo crest, so even better.
Yeah. Resolution's queuing up a MKB, but he hasn't started yet. It's definitely pretty late at this point. Maybe should have grabbed. No, I think he's doing the right item progression. It's just kind of a bad timing that you have to deal with as Terrorblade. Roche going to go for Liquid here. Not too surprising considering that they put the pressure on their opponents recently. But
and do you like the decision as well from Weehaw, considering the situation? Not going to go for the Axe this game and has switched it up for the Assault Cuirass.
I think that's the right move. He's insanely survivable now. It basically means that Matoma Man doesn't really touch him too much. I mean, I like the Ags idea, but the timing wasn't quite right. And the fact that he bought Lotus Orb basically ruined his chances of getting Ags. It was basically Lotus Orb or Ags. It'd be his whole like survivability thing would be way too delayed otherwise. This will overall give him a lot better right-click damage anyways. Just the other one's better tankiness against like nukes and stuff, and better teamfight disruption kind of stuff. I mean, the man's got like 40 armor with the Solar Crest. I think he's going to be super effective like this. Ooh, Arcane Rune.
That would be nice. Want to get something done with it.
Okay, they're going to use Arcane Rune on Terrorblade, probably, for Metamorphosis.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Makes sense. They can make use of it here in this time, but they will be pushing, of course, into this Aegis. So it'll be questionable how heavy Thunderbirds try and go in during this time. I mean, do you feel that Thunderbirds, because of kind of that 5 Midas pickup from Liquid, are they running out of time, or do they have the heroes to continue to scale?
They definitely feel like that, and I do think there's some big worry about that.
Well, we'll find a free Crystal Maiden there, GH, behind on the top lane. Down for 60. It's a minute that they can try and abuse this one hero advantage, but essentially Liquid, of course, still with 5 with that Aegis second life, one of their cores. They'll play it safe, get the shrines, continue to find what they can get. MKB now done though from Matumba. This man is certainly going to be able to start chomping through these heroes, especially if you factor in the Silver Edge and the Bloodthorn picked up on Miracle. Yeah,
it all comes down to 4 staffs. Things like Snowball, keeping those heroes alive is a big deal. Miracle is actually getting really farmed though. Yeah. Double Midas pays off. Bloodthorn's going to be huge.
That's true, actually. I mean, technically the 6 Midas strap from Liquid.
Good point. He's queuing up Scotty afterwards. He's basically to the point here, especially it's 25. He's going to have 30% lifesteal as well. He's going to deal with the TB quite well at this point. I think this is the main reason they picked Arc Warden, because they knew they needed like a ranged Mjolnir carrier of some kind. That way they could actually clear the TB illusions when they go high ground. So they really did draft interestingly for that.
Jump here, Liquid. Can they respond to this? They'll look towards Moon, bringing him down very low. Infest, the nuke damage is enough to bring him down, but in return, Thunderbirds, they'll find mind control. Kuroki quick with the jump away and now on the retreat. Tumberman and Kuro trying to get themselves out of there. Saxa with the sharp block onto Kuroki, tries to hide as a tree. It's not going to fool T-Birds as they take down the Monkey King as well.
Bottom a fraction of a second, but only so much.
Tumberman will be saved though, so it's kind of a little bit of a silver lining, but still, Thunderbirds getting 2 kills. Is of course just a question of, again, how much, if anything, they can get done in that 40 seconds for both, because Miracle, just look at the pressure, bottom lane and mid lane shoved entirely in onto the side of map with Thunderbirds, and in fact, he's going to go for a 1v1 here. He is inside the bubble, so the evasion isn't there for the Tempest double. Ooh. Miracle's out. The Flux will bring Rezo very low though.
And that's just a Tempest double, man. He almost died. Fight goes in though. Lifestealer, this is a huge kill. Okay, Aegis. Can they get the follow-up though?
Miracle's hanging around. But this is going to be a 3 versus 3 and a scary 3 on Thunderbirds with Weeha ready to be on the front line. Saxa will go for the easier kill. Looks towards Jace. Do they have the detection? They do indeed. I'll take him down through the Glimmer Cape. In response, the Bloodthorn, the Flux bringing Moon very low. T-Birds are ready to try and break high ground once more. There's no Aegis, there's no Crystal Maiden for a full minute. Matumbaman focusing on zoning back the Bristleback. The Bloodthorn's down onto Rezo, bringing him down to half health. Weeha straining on the high ground, has to be careful. This Miona damage bringing him down low, but the BKB's out. Again, another Wraith dropped up onto the high ground to continue to just zone Saxa back. Mind Control has Matumbaman inside him. Ready to try and chase for more as T-Birds desperately scatter and back away from this.
They're gonna chase. Here comes the blink.
Mind Control.
Oh, good
immediately
stun.
turned on. Yeah, the Burrow Strike in response comes through. Matumbaman now in the front. Resolution's just going to turn and beat him down. The Boundless Strike, they're trying to save Matumbaman. Can he get his way out of this one? He can't. He's down. Miracle has the Tempest Ball, looks towards Rezo, but again, TB with his own BKB doesn't care about the lightning. Kuroki trying to 1v3 here with the Wukong's command. He will take one down. The Bashes keeping Thunderbirds back. He'll try and lifesteal his way back up, but they've got the Burrow Strike. They have the control. Triple kill for Resolution as Thunderbirds will end up taking the convincing team fight win.
Dude, that fight was saved by Sand King Burrow Strike there. Just being able to instantly disable the Night Stalker makes it a little bit harder for Lifestealer to make a decision. And killing him basically means that even the Lifestealer can't run away because then he's stuck in the guy that's stunned. So that Burrow Strike is huge. Allows Resolution to get a kill without even having to commit Metamorphosis. He'll use it now though. Time to take a Rax for Thunderbirds if they can.
And he's absolutely massive. As was the BKB making huge effect in that last fight. He's got an MKB as well now. Miracle scouting out the situation with the Tempest double. And will look to put a bit of a harassment down onto Rezo. But with Moon and himself, they'll turn and bring it down. But again, you can't underestimate the damage that this double can do before it goes. But the space is there. Top and middle racks being pressured by Thunderbirds. Miracle trying his best to keep them alive with the field, but Weeha simply steps into it and will allow them to bring down the melee racks on the top lane. Mid lane looking fairly exposed as well. Few seconds, Liquid will have the full lineup back up. Resolution still with the Metamorphosis, so the damage that he can offer, can he bring down a second set? Though with the fortification, BKB forced out on Rezo, now looking to get out. Liquid looking for the chase down. Can they get anything out of this one? Kuroki jumping forward, hits the Boundless Strike onto 2. Mind Control into the midst of it.
Oh, he got
finds Rezo, hits the Silence and Void just in time to bring down the Terror Blade. And now the Shard. Oh no, they've actually trapped in. We are, but oh, the epic Burrow Strike from Moon onto 3 as he comes back in. A buyback will be there from Kuroki, but Matumbaman's down for 80 seconds. Does not have any buyback available. And Thunderbirds, even after losing Resolution there, with a fantastic fake back as they come in with that Sand King play.
Yeah, it was such a fun little dance to see. They wanted to get close to the Terrorblade to kill him, but if they get too close, he sunders and he's going to be able to fight at full HP. So they just played it out until they finally had enough to disable. They get the kill, but the crucial epicenter there from Sand King, guaranteeing the team fight win. It's not over though.
Kuroki from the high ground again with these Wukong's commands, but Saxa's forced out to safety. Weeha as well, shoved down to the low ground. Can they get him out? Miracle trying for the chase. But being very careful about how they step out of the base now.
Misery.
They do respect the turn potential of the Thunderbirds.
And they also shut down the Wukong's command ult again, pushing him out instantly with the blinding light. And it's daytime. 1:28 until night. Night Stalker does have his ulti, but the heals are coming. And they got to shut this down pretty soon. I don't even know if they can stop this though. With Matumbaman dead for 25, it's tough. They do make it nighttime, so no more heals here, but they've even got BKB.
And they kill Weeha.
They can get him low, definitely.
Yeah, it's so hard, especially with the backup. You know, Moon ready to jump in with a Burrow Strike in case anything's get too dicey. Weeha just plus the BKB. They want to go for the Megas. There's the jump in the Burrow Strike onto 2. Saxa trying to focus down. Miracle's out and down for 100. It's almost certainly going to be over unless they can get some big kills in return, Liquid. They found Moon. They'll get the Void onto Saxa, but he's shoved down to the low ground. The Sigil slow, keeping Liquid back. Saxa takes a Boundless Strike to the backside, though. Kuroki will bring down the Tusk. Matumbaman with the quick infest play. Can he keep himself alive? He's hiding in the opponent's creeps here, but Kuroki being chased down back to the fountain by Resolution as they've lost the Monkey King as well. Buybacks coming out from Thunderbirds. They know that this is their chance to close the game off as they'll turn their attention towards the tier 4, and GG is called. We'll be taking this one to a game 3 as Thunderbirds bringing it together, and Weeha, that's the man who's just played a mid Bristleback and won a game.
Oh yeah. game to watch. Really cool strat from Thunderbirds. I think the Bristle was definitely the right hero for the game. And on the other side, I think even the Arc Warden was definitely a very solid pick. You could really see how Liquid's draft fit together. It was counter the high ground push of the Coddle and the early game